Hi, I'm live. How you doing? Give me a say hello if you're here. So, today we are gathering here for a workshop on the art of listening to music. The main objective of this course today is to learn how to actively listen. So to activate our ears, to cultivate this skill of listening. And in the end, when we learn how to do that, we'll be able to listen in general. So not only to music, but we can take this into our everyday life. We can learn how to listen to each other more, right? In conversations and so on. The second aim of this course is to give ourselves this experience of active listening to music. Music listening is fun, and sometimes it's a really nice thing to just have the music in your ears. But there's this whole new world, a whole new world of actively listening and actually using music for your own experience that I'm going to teach today. Just give me some hello, hi. Just type something in the live chat. It's supposed to be on the right side of your screen. Adjust the screen if you need to. If you don't see the live chat, I'm just going to type in something real quick here. Hello, as the first one. The way this is going to function is that I'll be talking and I'll be guiding you through this course. It's going to take about 40 minutes of your time. Hi, Cassio. Hi, Sonia. Great to have you here. Thank you for joining. Yes, so I'll be guiding you through, and you're going to need two things. You're going to need a pen and a blank piece of paper, and you're going to be writing down things, and then you're going to be typing them in the chat, and that's the way we're going to communicate. Okay? And there are links in the description below for Spotify and YouTube. We're going to be having 2 music examples, so use whichever is better for you. And there's going to be a Q&A session at the end, so save your big questions for that time. But if you have some important ones, just shoot them in the live chat and I'll answer them as quick as possible. All right, so just to get to know you a little bit, why won't you type in what way do you usually consume music? So just brainstorm, like, what way do you usually consume music? In the mornings, in the evenings? Do you put them in your head, like through headphones or speaker, or is it on the radio? Do you listen to the music when you go to a supermarket and in bars, at concerts? Whatever comes, just type it in. Let me know. Also, how many hours do you consume music, on which parts of the day? Usually people in the morning use music to get them going, so to start the day, so maybe it's a bit more exciting. In the evenings, it's to relax you. Cassio says that he listens to music recently all the time. Exactly, yeah, to help him wake up in the morning, to get into the routine, right? On the way, when you commute, when you go for a walk, when you work. And usually when we work, we tend to use music that's a bit more repetitive, maybe with less lyrics, right? So the function of that music is to keep us motivated, to keep us going. Julia says she likes to dance, right? So for relaxation, it's like a way, reggaeton while doing laundry. Yes, very nice. Yasha says he uses music mostly on his headphones as background noise. Right. Music is a really good way to also distance yourself from your surroundings, right? You put the music in your ears so you don't have to listen to your actual surrounding on a train, in the car, anywhere. Right. Perhaps like to understand, it's usually when we hear the music, we will call this passive consumption. Sorry, when we listen to the music, we will call it passive consumption. And when we actually listen to it, so that's when we kind of sync to it, when we go to a concert and we really focus on the music, that's going to be called active listening. Yeah. In the morning, 4 hours per day, for relaxation, for working. Yeah. One thing that no one mentioned is maybe in movies, in commercials. So that's also there's also a lot of music there, as like a background sound, or so let's just say that music kind of surrounds us quite a lot during our days. It's something we all share in our lives, so it's a great topic to work on, right? So I'm going to tell you just a little bit something about me. My name is Petra Rakic. I recently moved to Zurich. I lived before that in Berlin. I studied musicology there, but now I work here and in Zurich, and I work as a singing teacher. I teach kids, teenagers, but also adults. And I'm also a professional singer. My music can be heard on Spotify, and you can check my links in the on YouTube channel. And this year, I set myself a goal to launch my own solo project. So good music coming from me this year. Good. So I'm just gonna dive into our first exercise. Now that we kind of got to know each other a little bit, there's a link below in the description to our first song. It's a song by the Beatles called Twist and Shout. And there's going to be some twisting and shouting for sure, right? This song, you're going to listen to it, and then you're gonna come back to this live chat, and we're gonna meet back here in 3 minutes. I want you to take the pen, take the piece of paper, and write down what you hear. Okay? So really just focus on listening to the song and write down any types of information that comes to your mind. Okay? There are no right or wrong answers. Just write it all down. Okay? So, yeah, but don't look at the image or something. Just focus on your ears. Okay, we're trying to do that. So let's do this. I'm also going to do that, and let's meet back here in 3 minutes. Okay, let's do it. Okay, slowly come back to the live and type in the live chat what were your notes. Just type it all in, whatever happened. Everything that you could observe from this first listening. What kind of instruments could you hear? Was it a piano, a guitar? Did you hear any voices? Was there anybody singing? How many people were singing? What was the mood of the song? What was the lyrics about? Is it like a one direction of singing? So one person is singing from the beginning to the end? Or is there kind of multiple thing happening? Somebody is calling and somebody is responding. Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby, now. Come on, baby. Right? It's like a dialogue between two different actors, kind of like a Socrates dialogue, right? It's like a call response, and also the call is usually higher and the response is lower. The call has one voice, the response has two voices. Did anybody hear any screaming? Any of that shouting that is described in the video? Okay, Casio has something for us. Okay, instruments. Yes, the voice is on top of the instruments. It seems to keep the same upbeat from beginning to the end. Right, very good, Casio. So the song is very repetitive, right? It keeps on repeating the same guitar riff. The riff that the song starts with, bum 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 bum, dun 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 dun, right? That repeats throughout the whole song. There's only one place in the song where it all kind of just stops, and that's right in the middle of the song. It all kind of stops, the vocals disappear, and there's like a new kind of soundscape, very chilled atmosphere, and the melody changes. Dun 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 dun. Julia says it's dance. It reminds her of dance. Definitely, definitely. It's a dancey song. That's why they're also screaming to get the audience pumped, like, well, shake it up, baby, now. Somehow something Latin. Yes. The riff, the beginning of the riff is actually from La Bamba. It's a Mexican folk song. Very good. At least two people singing. Very good, Julia. So yes, there's John Lennon on the main vocal, Paul McCartney and George Harrison as the responders. Very good. Chill background, but aggressive, pushy front voice. Screaming. Yes, actually, fun fact, John Lennon had a cold on that day when they were recording this song, so he's also a bit out of tune, but that was not intended. That was just his health problem. So that's why his voice is so rashy. There's a lot of passion. It's a summer song. La Bamba. Yes, exactly. Did anybody guess what instruments are played? What are the four instruments that the Beatles played? There are Ringo Starr. What does he play? Drums. There's a bass guitar, Paul McCartney on the bass. And then there are two guitars, George Harrison on the main guitar and John Lennon on his rhythm guitar. So this is going to be a bit hard, but we're going to listen to the song again. And I want you to be aware of those elements that we just all together now found out. So focus, be aware of what to listen. I'm going to tell you what to be, what to focus on. Okay, focus on the instruments. Try to find that bass line. It's gonna be very clear in the middle of the song when it's only instrumental. Paul McCartney, bum 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 on the bass. You're gonna hear the drums and the guitars. Then be aware of the voices, well, shake it up, baby, now, shake it up, baby. This call, response. And the screaming, right? I think they scream like 3 times throughout the song, like, ah, wow! They go a bit crazy, right? It's a party. And there's also like the famous vocal lineup. Ah, wow! When they all go crazy. So be aware, like try to find that. The mood we already guessed very nicely. It's a dance song. The lyrics is also about dancing, shake it, shake it. So that's okay. And the guitar riff. So this repetitive riff, the melody that keeps on repeating but stops in the middle. Okay? And yes. Now let's go listen to it again. Ready? And see you in 3 minutes. Be aware. All right. Please tell me, was your experience a bit different now? Now that you had the awareness and the guidance to know what to listen, what to expect, what to be aware of. Was the experience in any way different from the first time that you listened to it? Were you able to get more from your experience? Just quickly give me some feedback before we move on to the second song. I hope you all got the ah, Good, Julia. Good. Mm-hmm. Now I could hear La Bamba. One voice was asking, multiple voices answering. Very good. Mm-hmm. Yes. If you're not focused on listening, it's a bit difficult. I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy with the with your responses. So we kind of got the first two lessons of this workshop under the hat. So the first one is that we are aware that active and passive listenings are two different things and that the experience can be different when we listen to it and not just hear. You was able to extract more from listening. I'm so glad. Good. Then we can focus, then we can move to our second song. The second song, Yesterday, I'm sure you know this song, right? It's quite famous. You, I'm gonna ask you to listen to be aware of the same elements that we used for the first track, which is which instruments are being played, right? What voices do you hear? How many people are singing? You know, what's the mood like? Lyrics? What is it about? That's it. Those three. Okay. So instruments. Listen to the voice, the lyrics, the mood. The third. And I'm gonna give a free singing lesson to whoever gets gets the most accurate definition of the instruments being played in the song. Can't see the links on mobile. Beatles Yesterday song. Okay, if it's not working. Beatles Yesterday, but please only listen to it. Don't watch the video or something. Okay? So this is a competition now. Whoever gets the instrumental right or the most accurately wins this free singing online lesson with me. Okay? And let's go. 3 minutes. All right. Okay. So, what are the instruments recorded in this track? Can anybody give me the full list? Whoever does it first or the best wins a singing lesson with me. Yulia says there's only acoustic guitar and a cello. Very good. Very good. Guitar, violin, guitar, cello. Right. Are there any drums in this track? Sonia says two violins, acoustic guitar, and a cello. Sonia, good. There's one instrument that's that still hasn't been set, but it together it's a string quartet, right? Sonia was the closest, so Sonia wins. Right. Right. So it's very interesting. It's a bit different song, okay? It's very different. It's a ballad. And and so we don't have any drums in the songs. That means no rhythm, no dancing, right? So the purpose of this song is to listen. Julia, yes, string quartet and the guitar. And this song is sung by how many people? How many voices could you hear? Bravo, Sonia. it's it's a bit different in that way too. So only one person is singing exactly. So it's Paul McCartney this time that's singing the song. He also wrote the song. Yeah, and he's performing the song on his own. He's playing the guitar, but when they recorded, they also added a string quartet, right? So this is a song that has no drums. Did you ever notice this before when you listened to it before? And back to the purpose, right? So if the first song had a very different purpose, as you guys guessed, so it was about dancing, it was about moving your body, right? Its sole function is not to be listened to carefully, to everything. It's meant to get the party going, right? Whereas this song is meant for you to be still. It's meant for you to listen. And the purpose of the song is to connect with the artist. The artist is talking about yesterday. He's talking about longing. Something used to be and it's not anymore, right? Everybody can relate to this. It's a very innate feeling, emotion, longing for the past or longing for something that was and isn't anymore. And when you listen to the song, the purpose is to engage emotionally, right? To the topic, to feel this. So let's listen to the song again. And for all of those of you who didn't hear the violin or didn't hear the cello or all these things, try to in this listening second time try to hear those things. So when he said yesterday, and then you have violin like or the cello gently played in the background, okay? And be mindful of the purpose of this song that Paul McCartney is trying to tell us. This song came to him in a dream. Yeah, so let's hear it one more time and see you back here in 3 minutes. Let me know when you're back. I hope you all heard a bit of the strings, maybe not all four, maybe not the viola, but maybe some cello, some violin. And I hope this purpose was clear to you now, that Paul McCartney wanted to share with us in this song. And the difference between both songs is I chose two very different songs by the same artist on purpose so I could show you that, you know, there's different functions of music, and even in the same ensemble there can be different soundscapes that Beatles can play together. And why is this so important? If we get together now and we take all that we've learned so far into a few main takeaways, right? To summarize, okay? I'm gonna use an analogy from food, okay? So the function of food could be that you're just hungry and you need to fill your stomach, and you know you're working or you're walking and you're grabbing a sandwich and eating it on the go. There's nothing wrong with that use, right? It's just the function is like that. But then if you compare that experience, right, with going to a Michelin star restaurant, and there's like 5-course menu, and quality is above quantity, and you're getting all these small size dishes, and you're tasting it, and you're there 4 to 5 hours, and you know you're sipping a bit of wine with it, and you're thinking about that food. It's explained to you what the food is about, how many hours was it prepared, and, you know, the whole experience is just different. You can gift yourself this experience when you actively listen to music. But whereas not everybody can afford to go to a restaurant, or right now we can't even go to a restaurant, everybody can listen to music. It's available. So, and as I said, this is just an added value. This is just an added approach to listening to music. By being active and engaged in listening to music, you can take away more than just by hearing the music. So this clear division between active use of music and passive use of music is what I wanted to show today in this online workshop. And I want you to take away from this online workshop that we did just now, I want you to take away this question and ask yourself next time when you are exposed to music, am I listening to this music or am I hearing it, right? The difference between that. So just as a little homework. And also to be aware of the function. It's perfectly fine in the morning if you put on an alarm. The function is to wake you up. So not all music consumption needs to be active, but it's an experience that can add some value to your life, right? If you want to. And even more than that, by learning how to listen to music, you learn how to listen, period, right? So when you listen to somebody in a conversation, you are more aware of the mood that the person is talking to you in. What is he saying? What language is he using? Are you really listening to what the other person is saying, or are you just hearing what the other person is saying? So how engaged can you be? How aware can you be in what in a conversation? This skill can also help you when you listen to different podcasts or at work, or just whenever in general. That's what I kind of prepared for you today. I'm really happy with all of your participation. I think you were amazing students. Once again, congratulations to Sonia for winning the most accurate ensemble for yesterday. And I'm just going to open the floor for any questions that you might have. We can debate them now for the next few minutes. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. And thank you for being here with me tonight. Maybe I can tell you a bit more about why I chose these these two music examples, because they are rather short. So it was recorded in the 60s. Back then, the tracks had to be limited by the format, so by the single small printed, so physical format. And that's why it was like from 2 to 4 minutes. So it was good for our exercise to have two short examples so we could focus on our elements. Thank you, Trina. Yes, I'll think about it, and we could maybe do this again. Maybe I'll do like an advanced version from here on. These days, I like to listen to a lot of relaxation music, so ambiental music, nothing too aggressive, nothing too harsh, especially in the evenings. But of course, I'm also focusing on my own songwriting, so I don't want to expose myself to any other influences, because then it kind of messes up with my own creativity. But I work with a lot of students right now, from kids to adults, and they give me some homeworks when I have to prepare the songs for them. I listen to, from songs from Frozen to punk, heavy metal stuff, because I have to prepare my students for different songs. So that's exciting. Yasha has a question. How is functional music changing between different eras? Yeah. Well, it's hard to say. It's, of course, in the 60s, it's a different time zone than right now. But it's far enough from right now that we can consider those songs classical, because enough time has passed. I know who's making Peter and listen to heavy things. Right. Exactly. So I'm listening to all kinds of songs lately. And yeah, as you'll go on and take these lessons from today, you're also going to find out that different music, different types of genres have different types of functions. So I wouldn't recommend you to actively listen to the songs that you are using when you're working, because that's going to be the complete opposite of what the music is trying to do, right? The music is trying to be in the background for you to keep your concentration. So if you try to concentrate on the music, it can't work anymore. So this is really just an ad that you can use if you want to. How does other music influence my writing? Well, certain melodies, certain hooks stay in my head. Uh, I and then I develop it further. Like I compose it in my own brain, in my own way, so it can change the focus from what I was trying to write to something else. That's just how it happens. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna end this live stream now. I want to thank you all for participating, for being here with me, and happy listening to music, happy listening to each other in conversations in general. It's a very important skill. Our ears are a magnificent sensation that we can use in everyday life. Of course, you can share music. Yes. Thank you so much. Bye. Okay, I'll wait for for a while. Everybody can share what they're currently listening to. I know Cassio has some amazing playlists of Brazilian music. So if you want to take that opportunity and share what you're listening to currently, do that now. Ludovico, yes, he's amazing. His function is to to relax you, right? And also to listen to be to get some kind of to deepen your kind of touches your soul, right? It's very nice music to listen to. Yes, for sure. But you can also use it as a background songs. Yeah, Marcus Vana. Yeah, you know, if you use music as a meditation tool, of course. Nice. Bukahara. Yeah, during these times. John Hopkins, techno. Yes, techno is a great genre for keeping your stable focus because it doesn't have a lot of changes in the rhythm, so it keeps you in the go. All right. Thank you so much. Bye bye.